What's up, fam? We're back at it. And I think we're gonna do Capricorn this time because we were going in order and then I skipped around because I had gotten a request for whatever we did last, Aries. So I think we're gonna go back to order. So we're at Capricorn this time. And alright. We're just gonna jump right in. I only know a couple of Capricorns and they are something. Let's just say that. I swear to God, every time I start filming these videos, an obnoxious vehicle drives by. I do not understand. Like, yeah, there's always obnoxious vehicles around in this town, but it seems like these videos are targeted specifically. It's always these freaking zodiac videos. Okay, now we're gonna jump right in. So, your duality is feminine. Your element is earth. Your quality is cardinal. Capricorn is reserved, prudent, patient, uses cunning instead of force, seeks security, is acquisitive, disciplined, determined, and quick to seize opportunity. Your ruling planet is Saturn, the Roman god who presided over the sowing and reaping of grain, in ancient times the outermost planet of the known universe. In astrology, Saturn represents obstacles, limitation, restriction, and discipline. So your symbol is the goat, a sure-footed animal who is able to ascend heights by taking advantage of every foothold. The goat butts its way through obstructions. Which I believe because the two Capricorns I know are very, like you can't really tell them anything. They're very sure of themselves and what they want to happen. So your glyph is the pictograph represents the V-shaped beard of the goat and the curved tail of the fish, the sea goat, which was the ancient symbol for Capricorn. It also pictures the human knee and a circular kneecap, the part of the anatomy that Capricorn rules. In symbolic terms, the glyph is two straight lines that meet one another, connected to a circle and a crescent. This represents the melding of authority and responsibility that is strengthened by both energy and passion. Your dominant keyword is I use. Your polarity is Cancer. Capricorn is the sign governing reputation, career, standing in the community. Its natives seek honor, praise, and approval in the world at large, but tend to be emotionally reserved in personal relationships. Cancer, Capricorn's opposite sign, is the sign of domesticity and home life. Cancerians derive security from the love and closeness of mates and family members. Which, again, I get because one of the Capricorns I know is my aunt, and one of the Cancers I know is her daughter, and they never see eye to eye, ever. Part of the body ruled by Capricorn is the bones, joints, and knees. Capricorn natives often have beautiful bone structure, but they are subject to stiff joints, rheumatism, and orthopedic problems. Again, true, because my aunt, who is a Capricorn, has horrible knee issues and back problems. Lucky day is Saturday, and your lucky numbers are 2 and 8. Your magical birthstone is garnet, attracts popularity, high esteem, and true love. Your special colors are dark green and brown, classic, comforting colors of nature and the earth. Your cities are Oxford, Boston, Brussels, Chicago, and Montreal. And your countries are Mexico, Afghanistan, Bulgaria, and India. flowers are carnation and ivy. And I did not know ivy was considered a flower. I thought it was just like a weed, a plant. Your trees are pine, elm, and poplar. Your metal is lead. Animals ruled by Capricorn are goats and animals with cloven hooves. Danger. Other people may harbor hidden grudges and resentments because of Capricorn's coldness and reserve. Secrets from the past are often used against Capricorns. Yeah, I'm totally on board with that because, like I said, I know 2 Capricorns and both of them are very cold, very kind of stick in the mud. Like, they just keep everything in, and it almost seems like you don't even know them. So, okay, so now we're getting, here's your goat. And we're gonna get on to the reading. This one's a little longer, I think, than the last one was. It says your most likable trait is your steadiness. Capricorns are ambitious, and the lives of those born under this sign are marked by a purposeful pursuit of their destiny. Your motivating force is desire for success, money, status, position, authority, and, though you may not realize it, for love. In the sign of Capricorn, the practicality of Earth combines with the initiative of cardinality to create a personality geared towards leadership and power. Your ruler Saturn is the planet of limitations, which includes the limitation of time. To the ancients, Saturn was the symbol for Father Time. You have a heightened sense of the value of time, which helps you make a superb organizer and planner. In the sign of Capricorn, the quality of patience reaches new heights. One of the hallmarks of your sign is that you learn to wait for things you want. All the Capricorns I know. An aura of melancholy and sternness often surrounds you. True. Saturn has been called the celestial taskmaster, for it symbolizes responsibility, discipline, and restriction. You, as a child of Saturn, are practical and above all determined. As long as there is a top to get to from the bottom, you will persevere in your upward striving. You think of yourself as a real person in a real world, which allows little time for idle pleasure seeking. You have a sense of purpose and a great faith in your own ability. Essentially, you feel you can depend on yourself. This remoteness of spirit is often misunderstood by others. It has been described as cold passion, but you are not cold as much as self-sufficient. Beneath your reserve, there is a sensitive and sympathetic person, and anyone who needs a strong shoulder to lean on needn't look further than Capricorn. Certainly, you do not deserve your reputation for being sober and gloomy. One of your more striking characteristics is your sense of humor. Your wit may be dry, incisive, but it is extremely funny and has a way of erupting when others least expect it. Again, I only know a few, and I would not find that to be true. As is your nature with everything else in life, you are cautious and conservative with money. Chances are you will amass wealth during your lifetime, usually in the later years, for you know how to make sound investments. In business, your success is due to painstaking preparation. The journey of 10,000 miles may begin with a single step, but you know you can't get anywhere unless you first know where you're going. You may not size up a situation as quickly as some, but that can be an advantage, for it means you won't heedlessly plunge in. Instead, you will research, examine what others have done before, and gather all relevant data. Only then, with a thorough understanding of the details, will you begin to move, and then you won't be stopped until you reach your goal. Your basic concern for security. your basic concern is for security. That goal comes first, and you are usually materialistic. You can be spiteful towards those who stand in the way. You have a great sense of pride and will not forgive anyone who belittles or slights you. Now that sounds accurate. By the same token, you will repay favors done for you. Scorpios also go out of their way to repay a kindness, but in their case, it is done out of a sense of gratitude and fidelity. With you, the motivation is pride, which does not allow you to live comfortably under an obligation. More than any other sign of the zodiac, Capricorns marry for money and prestige. In most relationships, you must dominate because when you are in control, you do not feel vulnerable to another person's power. Yes, that sounds so accurate because both of the Capricorns I know are married, and I think they both did it for money. And like just security. I don't see a lot of love there. In small ways, you are continually testing the loyalty of those close to you. You are the loner of the zodiac, but have a great need to be loved and appreciated. Unfortunately, you won't let this need be known. In fact, you are a past master at concealing it. Underneath the mask, you wear still other masks, and it can take a long time to discover the real you. To others, you may appear aloof, indifferent, hard to reach because you are so self-contained, but the very elusiveness of your Capricorn personality can be hypnotically attractive. Anyone who cares enough to penetrate your shell of reserve will be greatly rewarded. Your affections and loyalty run deep, and you cherish and protect those you love, and you stick around when the going is toughest. So you know this, I can't really speak to that, but I have to be honest. The one I know that's my aunt, we don't really get along that well, and so I don't spend a lot of time with her, so I definitely have not penetrated her shell. And then the other one I know, same thing, like I know her, but not super well, and I don't know any male Capricorns, so I can't say that like your affections and loyalty don't run deep, and because I just don't know. That is all of the reading portion. So, like in all the other ones, we have the list of famous people, and I'm gonna read through the ones that I know, and then I'll show you, and then you can see if you recognize any others. Muhammad Ali, Humphrey Bogart, Al Capone, Faye Dunaway, Benjamin Franklin, Ava Gardner, Cary Grant, J. Edgar Hoover, Joan of Arc, Martin Luther King Jr., Henry Miller, Mary Tyler Moore, Sir Isaac Newton, Richard Nixon, Aristotle Onassis, I'm not sure, Edgar Allan Poe, Elvis Presley, Paul Revere, Carl Sandburg, J.D. Salinger, Maggie Smith, J.R.R. Tolkien, Woodrow Wilson. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Joseph Stalin. I wonder what Hitler was. I'll probably find out he was a fucking Gemini. Alright, so here's the list. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that Capricorn is from December 22nd to January 19th. So, that is all for Capricorn. If you have one that you really want me to do next, let me know, and I could do that one. If not, we'll probably just continue in order, which I think would put Aquarius next, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Aquarius. And my brother and my uncle and my grandfather, and I know so many Aquariuses, so I am super interested to see if it nails them, because I know a lot of them will, and I'll give you like yes or absolutely not, at least in my experience. So just yeah, let me know if you have one you really want to hear about, or otherwise Aquarius will be next. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all really, really soon.